Welcome back to Performance Hunters, and today we are going to be going over how to launch your automatic car. It's a pretty simple process and there's only a few steps involved. We also got additional tips to give you on how to win your race. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of these types of videos, and then leave your comments on what kind of car you drive, so you can tell us and we can tell you. And if you live in San Diego, hopefully we can host a car meet together out here sometime. So whether you're at the drag strip, at the racetrack, or at a stoplight, keep in mind launching is one of the most essential things you need to be doing in order to be winning races. So let's get you guys started into how to launch your car. So the process is easy. It's really like just 6 or 7 steps, and we're gonna get into it right now. Like and subscribe the video, please. So step 1 is gonna be to find a car. Okay, so now that we found ourselves a car, what we're gonna want to do is get a nice little road to practice our launching on. Okay, so while we're in the process of finding a nice road to do our launch on, what I'm gonna want to do is just go over why the launch is pretty important, especially if you're new to racing and just you're a new car enthusiast in general. You're gonna want to know why it's pretty important. What the launch is, it's basically you on the starting line with the other car and you taking off first and reaching the end first before the other car. And because you had the time to take off first, it doesn't matter if your top speed is lower, you made it to the end first. Basically what I'm trying to say is, just imagine you're in a sprint and what you're trying to do is leave the starting line as fast as you can to reach the end quicker than your opponents, your enemies, basically, people you're trying to take to gapplebees. Now, in order to take the other person to gapplebees, what you're going to need to do is leave the line first. In order to do that, you're going to need to build up some torque, and when you build up the torque, you're able to jump off the line first and leave them behind, especially if they over rev, which will cause them to spin out, or if they rev too low, it'll cause them to just crawl off the starting line while you're already like 2 bus lanes ahead of them, which is really good in a race because you want to be the person that's a few bus lanes ahead of your enemy. Okay, so after you find a car you want to use, what you want to do next is scout out the road for any bumps, any holes, anything that you don't want to hit with your car too. And also another thing you want to do just to be extra safe is watch out for nails on the ground, because if a car picks up a nail, there goes a flat, and tires go around like $200, $300 just for one. So what you're going to want to do is just make sure that the road is clean and that you don't see nothing crazy on the road. So you want to look for driveways like that so that there's no cops hidden behind. So you want to find a road that's usually empty with no police presence so that you don't get pulled over and that you don't gotta call ticket dismissers. By the way, if you ever get pulled over, keep in mind ticket dismissers is in California and they have done tickets, DUIs, they cover everything, and court appearances, they appear in court for you, no hassle, it's very easy. All you gotta do is give them a call. I'll leave their in the description. Check them out if you ever get into a pinch and you need to get a ticket dismissed. So once you've done the last 2 steps, now you're going to get in your car and you're going to do a little bit of things to your car before you get into the launch. What you're going to want to do is now get on the straight and put your car into sport mode. Okay, so to put your car into sport mode, there's various ways you can do this, but on mine, this is a C-Class Mercedes. What you're going to want to do is hit the dynamic select button up twice, and it puts it in the Sport Plus, which is the maximum sportiness. So what it does is it increases your throttle response, increases exhaust note, tightens suspension. Your shifting points would be upshifting at a higher RPM versus than when it's in a comfort mode. Now in cars, this is either a button, analog, or just anywhere. You can look it up in your owner's manual. For every car it varies, and for every car, sport mode also varies on what it does. Some cars it doesn't tighten suspension. On this car the exhaust note doesn't get louder, but on Mustangs I've heard it does get louder. So once your car's in sport mode, you're going to want to get into the next step. Now after you have put your car into sport mode, what you're going to want to do is put your left foot on the brake and your right foot on the gas pedal, like so. So with your left foot on the brake and your right foot on the gas, what you're going to want to do is press the gas pedal a couple times, then release the brake while you're still flooring the gas. Now in an automatic car, it's pretty easy. You don't gotta dump no clutch or nothing, so nothing fancy, and I'll show you right now in a second. There we go. So finding the perfect revving range varies from car to car. A lot of cars are different. Make sure your RPMs don't get too high or that they don't stay too low, or else your launch won't be successful. I find that when I launch at around 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs, it's when I get the good launch. So now once you find the sweet spot, try practice a couple times. There we go. So just like I did right there, left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas, depress the gas a few times, let go of your brake, and then keep your foot on the gas. To find the right revving range, you're gonna wanna do it a couple times. And it varies from car to car. On all-wheel drive cars, it's a lot different than rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive cars. So you're gonna wanna adjust accordingly. Keep in mind, there are a few things that keep your car slower, especially when it comes to racing. The first thing is gonna be heat. The hotter your engine is, the slower you will usually go. If you're at a drag strip, you don't keep your car idling when you don't need it to be idling, and that you don't, leave your hood down. You're gonna wanna open your hood just to let some air in to hopefully cool off your engine. Whether you're at the drag strip, whether you're at the racetrack, or whether you're at a stoplight, launching is super important. And if you still have any questions after the video, let us know in the comments below, or let us know on our Instagram, DM us, shoot us a message, do what you can. Much love to you. If you like, subscribe, and follow us, and just keep in touch in general. We keep in touch with you guys too. We want to know what you think. So thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.